My name is Miss Swinson. I work at Langston Chapel Middle School. I am a seventh grade ELA resource teacher. During this semester, I am a virtual social studies teacher online. I'm here to answer some of the following questions. The first one asks me to describe the role of in the IEP progress. As far as the IEP, we have certain dates that students have IEP that are due. They have to be reevaluated after 3 years, and if it's not at 3 year point, then there's a reeval every year, and that IEP has to be rewritten and updated. Um, the IEP is put there for students with certain disabilities that need assistance in certain areas, as far as reading, ability to understand different classes like ELA and math, reading, and other classes, maybe social studies and science, where there's a parent there to assist them. The next question says, summarize the steps that should be followed prior to creating an IEP. So the steps that should be followed, the coordinator and that case manager, they will schedule a meeting with the parents. The parents would come in, they would sit down and go through what they think is need to be put in place for the student. The parent can agree or disagree. If the parent agrees, then all this is put in IEP in writing. If the student needs to be evaluated as far as behavior skills and social skills and skills in his classroom, then the psychologist come aboard and he does that testing. After which there is a second meeting with the parents to go forth to have the testing, have all this done, and have it implemented and put in place, and then the student have these accommodations that last from year to year. So again, they must be updated yearly until the 3 year period is over, where they have a reeval. IEP is confidentiality. It is state mandated that everything in that IEP is left confidential. It only should be entrusted with the parent or guardian. It shouldn't be discussed with anyone else, anyone outside the school system for any reason at all, because of confidentiality and because of the teacher code of ethics. IEP committee offers support to parents and guardians with individuals with disabilities. They offer accommodations. Accommodations are made within the IEP. They are put in the IEP of how teachers and parents will assist the student in the classroom, as well as out of the classroom with whatever disability they have been labeled as during that IEP meeting. The district offered several forms of training for education and resource and training by the district. There are several meetings that teachers have to attend who are SPED teachers throughout the year. So certain training. There are tests that have to be done as well, and the training consists of, if you're in an exclusion class with students or if you're a resource teacher, they offer the different trainings and steps to help you understand how to meet the needs of each of those students. The data for IEP progress monitoring is done every 9 weeks. So whatever goal that student has listed on the IEP, whether it's reading, whether it's math, then that teacher, that caseload manager is responsible for gathering all the progress monitoring, what that student has done for that 9 weeks period, how they are progressing, if they are met the goal. Now, the goals are usually at 80%, and you determine if that student has met those goals or not. And that is the different steps of the IEP. A committee is always formed the coordinator is there, which is the lead, the LEA, and then the caseworker is there, the case manager, and then it has to be a general ed teacher in the meeting along with the parents at all. For every meeting, parents can opt out of being in attendance, and they can sign a waiver that gives you the right to go ahead and have the meeting without them as well. Further question? I've never led or participated on a curriculum development team at this time. I'm not sure what will happen in the future, but at this time in my years of teaching, I have never served on that committee. What makes effective school-wide discipline? To me, although I'm not a principal, but to me is to have everyone on the same page, everyone together, whatever discipline plan has been implemented, that the administration and all the teachers and all the adults in the building follow this plan and they carry it out. They don't let things just be bypassed for any reason, but they hold everyone accountable for their part as far as that school-wide discipline plan. The types of assessments that are effective to me are those that give students the opportunity to be more engaged. Not just written assessment, but those that allow students to be more hands-on, those that allow students to learn from their peers, those that allow students to take control of that learning during that class period. They kind of get in to see what they're leading in whatever activity is taking place. So those type of assessment are more effective, I think, than just giving out written tests weekly to any student. If a child is acting out, at what point do you involve the parents? I usually have the rules and expectations in my classroom. I have steps. Student is acting out. The first thing, they have a conference with myself, the teacher. Next step, I've given them the opportunity to correct that behavior. They have not. So after that warning, after the conference, and then the next thing, I call the parent before a write-up or anything is given. Just to give the parents an opportunity to step in to help kind of change the behavior that's taking place. What's my impression of our school? I feel the last 2 years the school has went through a major change, have went through some things that were really need to be reviewed, but this year it seems like it's headed in the right direction. There is new leadership, there are new plans put into motion, so it seems like it's headed in a right direction at this time. What did I learn most from my previous principal? Just that he was very kind of caring for the students. So he was just very caring for the students. I think that would be one thing. Support that we need from the district to be successful with the virtual program that's taking place this year. Administrators in the district that we need support, understanding to know that as teachers we are struggling. We are now using programs that a lot of us has never used before. So we're trying to make it ease for the students as well as the parent. And it sometimes seems like those in leadership positions, they're not seeing our perspective as teachers and how stressful it is on us as well. What advice would I give a new teacher? My advice to a new teacher would be not to do it alone. Never try to do it all by yourself. Ask for help, ask for assistance, ask for guidance. Take part in the PLCs when you're there, give your input, but never try to do it alone. How do I de-escalate a student? Probably try to, I usually try to talk to them, move them away from the situation, whatever it is that has got them kind of off focus or off track. So I try to move them away from it to give them a cool down period, and then that we can talk and kind of discuss what is taking place. My philosophy of education assessment, again, is to give more than just that written test. Allow students to be more hands-on engaged, to allow the assessment sometimes to be student centered, to just move away from that written test that so many students have this gotten used to, and a lot of them are just they really don't learn a lot from it of what they should. Some students do, but some students don't, because students have learned different learning styles. No two students learn the same way. I feel like all students should can learn if they want to. So students in the community and members are included in learning. I feel like they are all able to learn. I don't try to exclude anyone in my classroom, no matter of any kind of culture differences. Again, I believe everyone is capable of learning if they choose. My philosophy of teaching, one of the top things would be to reach them before I teach them. So every child I try to reach before I even try to teach them anything. If they if you can build that rapport or relationship with a student, then you can better teach them, and they will be more accessible to what you are trying to teach them, because you have built that rapport. Am I familiar with school safety protocol? I am. We have the training at the beginning, doing planning before school ever starts, and then we have to sign off on that safety protocol each school term. So yes. Ways you can interact with the stakeholders of the community, and that would be everyone plays a part as a stakeholder. So just getting them involved, taking part in the district meeting, the meetings they have for school improvement, for district improvement, those county meetings they have, because we are all stakeholders as well. A relationship with a supervisor you may not agree with. I try not to let things escalate. I try to stay in my place. I don't try to, I'm not the person that wants to be the one that kind of like add to the fire, but I give respect, and then I expect to get the respect back as well. besides work, what I do on my own time, if I'm not in church, or spending time with my family, or spending time with my Women Empowering Women, which is a prayer group. And then I like to just spend time alone, just reading and meditating, just some downtime, me time. Or I'm either working with my youth group, and that was before the pandemic. Now that's hard to do with the things that we're going through right now. One area where I will need coaching and support, um, probably de-infrareding instruction um, has been just a kind of um, challenge for me, but I have learned a lot as the years go by. What do I know about the PBIS framework? Or for me, it is a plan for students to just kind of help students grow, be able to correct their own behaviors, to motivate them to do better, be better. I came from another county where they use the PBIS just to motivate our students to do right, take responsibilities for their own actions, and then they will reward them every so often for those students that really displays all those abilities. What makes an effective parent organization? Those parents that are involved and engaged. I feel like parents should be involved, but they should be really engaged, have more hands-on. To be involved means a parent may come and support a PTO, but to be engaged is coming to see how that child is doing in the classroom, what issues they may be having in the classroom, and what the parent can do to assist to make it better for them as well. So I believe a parent should both be involved and engaged. What do I enjoy about listening to people? Um, I guess sometimes we all need somebody we need to just talk to. We all need somebody that we need to just listen to us at some point. So I don't mind listening to someone else that I can be an encouragement to, because we all need to be encouraged. And especially as educators, we go through a lot of things, and a lot of times, a lot of things we don't express because who we are, because we're following code of ethics, we're following standards and values. So I don't mind. I enjoy listening to people in any situation. I enjoy listening to them if they're displaying presentations or anything, things that could help me grow, things that can help me become a better educator. I enjoy it. Words that my best friend would use to describe me is loving and caring, respectful, honest. My best friend would say um, religious, if I can even use that term in this setting. The last book on education that I read was a book by Selling, and it was I think the 7th edition, 2012. I think in one of my educational class, which was over the summer, this summer. It was a psychology book by Sylvan, and I couldn't remember the name of it, but it was an educational book. I love reading educational books to learn about students or students that I may be teaching middle school, their growing pattern, how their mind develops differently than what we may think as teachers. So I learned a lot over the summer just from taking the EDAT class. My metaphor, philosophy of teaching, it would be what I said earlier: to reach them before you teach them. You got to learn your students before you can even teach them. And learning that student even helps when it comes to classroom management and behavior issues. When you learn your student. And that would be all the questions that I think pertain to the role that I play at Langston Chapel Middle School. It was an honor, and I'm thankful for the opportunity.